We're on the scene of a developing story. Queen Jocasta found dead in the inner chambers of her bedroom. The cause of death appears to be suicide. Good evening, I am Faith Jackson.
And I'm John Ford.
And right now on the scene are a host of witnesses to this tragic event. Details are still coming in, but we have been told that she was found by her husband, Oedipus, the king of thieves. Witnesses believe the queen's suicide is in direct correlation with the breaking news that Oedipus being identified as ex-King Laius' murder. Right now on the scene we have Channing Maxwell with further details. Channing?
Breaking news this afternoon. The Queen Jocasta has committed suicide. Earlier today there were discourse in the kingdom after a prophet came to Oedipus and explained to him about the murder he would commit and the incest he would partake in. Queen Jocasta was in disbelief, witnesses tell us. Moments later, the queen was found hanging from the ceiling. It is rumored that the queen committed suicide because she had children with her son, who was also the murderer of King Laius. Rumors also tell us that she was overheard yelling and screaming, convicting herself of incest and begging for mercy for marrying her own son. She bore children with him, which is an offense against the gods here in the city of Thebes. The suicide was possibly an attempt to atone for this sin. These are all the details for now. We are going to keep you posted. Back to you, John.
Thank you, Channing. And now we have DRB Lamont with a special report regarding the anniversary of the death of King Laius. DRB?
Good evening. Today marks the anniversary of King Laius' death, found on the road toward Delphi, the oracle. He was brutally murdered on this day. Earlier, I was talking to one of the closest men to King Laius, and he spoke with us on the life him and King Laius had working side by side for many years. He gave us some insight to the details surrounding his death earlier today. With great emotion, he stated, "For many years, King Laius and I have talked about various things, and he mentioned occasionally, at times, that when he had spoken with the oracle once before, he was told that he was going to be killed by someone that was very close to him. And out of all of the conversation, he never told me what it could be. Speculations about Laius' death are about details that may have been linked to his murder. It is rumored that Laius knew of the prophecy when he spoke with the oracle once before. It was said that he knew for a fact that he and his wife would bear a son, and that he would be cursed and the son would kill the father. Not only was this said, but also that the son would marry his mother and that they would have children together. People are theorizing if the son of the prophecy is a hoax or reality. There are reports of a band of thieves being responsible for this tragedy. Officials say that the murder of King Laius is still under investigation, so statements of the detail in this murder are pending. At this time, the whereabouts of his killer are still unknown. This is DRB, reporting live from the scene in Thebes. John and Faith, back to you.
And now, in studio, we have a member of the chorus to further discuss today's details. Good evening, sir, and thank you for joining us. Can you please discuss this prophecy that we keep hearing about?
Well, in the beginning, the prophecy was foretold that ex-King Laius and Jocasta, they would bear a son, and eventually the son would come to kill Laius.
Okay, and did this prophecy come true in the end?
Yes, it came. It eventually came true over the years. The son, he was lost. That he was given away, and eventually he came back, and he ended up killing Laius.
Okay, and when did Queen Jocasta realize the truth of Oedipus being her son?
Well, Oedipus became the king for a while, and after a while of him being the king, a shepherd came to the town of Thebes, and he started to tell the story of how he found Oedipus when he was a baby with his feet pinned together and things like that. And that he told him how he found him. He was ordered to kill him, but he didn't kill him. He raised him. Let me take that back. He didn't raise him, but he took Oedipus to the king and the queen of Corinth, and they raised him. And eventually he came back to Thebes, and she found out that it was her son that she married.
So after the story was told, she figured it was her son. She realized.
Yeah, she realized that it was his son, her son that she was ordered, that she gave away and ordered the man to kill.
Okay. And how did Oedipus react to finding out the truth about actually the prophecy coming true?
Well, Oedipus, he got quite irate. He was demanding a lot of information. Eventually he found out the truth when the man told him. So he ran into the castle to go after the queen for truth. And upon him running in there, he found out that she had killed herself. And when she killed herself, he eventually gouged his own eyes out.
Thank you so much for this exclusive interview. And now to John.
Faith's interview will be available online tonight. In local news, there was recently a psychologist convention in town. The 6 o'clock news was in attendance. World-renowned sociologist Emil Durkheim was speaking there about the psychological implications of incest. In light of this rare event, we're going to share some of the footage with you tonight. Good evening, good people of Winston-Salem. My name is Emil Durkheim, and I'll be speaking to you tonight about the psychological implications of incest. Incestual relationships were used by royalty in ancient times to perpetuate the royal lineage. Over time, the practice of religion has become more prevalent, and religions have placed laws and taboos on incest to make it uncommon in the common society. However, sometimes this attraction cannot be helped. Should we persecute people who cannot help this attraction, though? They suffer from what psychologists, they call it genetic sexual attraction. They find that people with similar facial shapes and physical traits are attracted to each other. But I posit, who is more alike to you than your own offspring? And without prior knowledge of this relationship, who's to say that you would not be attracted to your own offspring? Typically, this is a consequence of adoption, though. The attraction is sometimes uncontrollable and most times inevitable. These scientific findings were found in a very opportune time, considering the events that occurred earlier this week in the city of Thebes. This ends our report for tonight. Stay tuned for The Voice following this program.